Yes. Supanna.
Yes, ma'am, I'm sharing, ma'am.
Sumit, you have to complete your experiment. All of you have to complete your experiment. ठीक है जी?
Ma'am, the writing part. Yes, ma'am, I'm doing that.
No, not the writing part. Actually, what is the total? I guess you have to generate your different type of unit step, units, impulse, ramp, sine, square, triangular.
Okay, ma'am. Triangular one I have not.
Okay, total ସେତିକି ତମକୁ କରିବାର ଅଛି step, impulse, ramp, sine, square, triangular. ठीक ଅଛି?
Ma'am,
हाँ.
এটা sine wave, cosine wave और square wave ର
अच्छा ଆଉ जो साइन वेव एडिशन टा दिया ହେଇଥିଲା
ହଁ
ସେଟା with two different frequencies ଦିଆ ହେଇଥିଲା ठीक ଅଛି not amplitude.
yes ma'am. Ma'am, এটা addition of the two sine wave. I have taken one frequency as 1000 hertz and another one has 2000 hertz, and this one is the addition of those two.
Okay, जोटा तमे addition of those two you have done the output one.
Yes ma'am.
You have to change the range, okay, so that a larger version you can see.
Okay ma'am.
Okay, because the periodic non-periodic part you can't see in this waveform.
Yes ma'am.
तो साइकिल पूरा देखिबो ना तो तमे कंप्लीट करके देखो ठीक अछि?
Okay ma'am, आरो change କରିଦେବି range.
Okay.
ଆଉ ଏଟା discrete ର এটা discrete sine, cosine ଆଉ square wave ର.
Okay, triangular टा skip हो जाई छी करबो.
हाँ हाँ मैम, triangular टा करदेबी.
Okay,
ଆଉ
register impulse.
yes ma'am ଅଛି. Continuous. Yes. Ma'am, এটা continuous ର impulse signal and unit step and unit ramp ର. ए केस रे मैम
हाँ इनिशियल वैल्यू टा चेंज करिया को पड़िबो सेठी.
मैम
हाँ हाँ ठीक अछि ठीक अछि.
କାହିଁକି ନା sir ଏଇ ଜାଗାରେ sir -1 ରେ sir 0 ହଉଛି, ମାନେ impulse ର ମାନେ only at t equal to 0 we should get the highest value like 1. ତ sir ଏଠି -0.1 ଆଉ 0.1 ରେ ବି 0 ଅଛି value, but 0 ରେ maximum ଅଛି value. ଏଟା impulse. Yes sir. Yes sir. And I showed this addition of two sine waves. And
ठीक अछि ओके. ଯେତେବେଳେ ସୁପର୍ଣ୍ଣା ପ୍ରିଣ୍ଟ ହବ
ଆଜ୍ଞା sir.
ଟିକେ କଣ କରିବ ଟିକେ ସି ଲାଇନ ଗୁଡାକୁ ଟିକେ ଇଏ କରିଦବ ଡାର୍କ କରିଦବ.
width of the waveform.
ହଁ width of the waveform ଟିକେ ବଢେଇ ଦବ.
हाँ sir. sir ସେଟା black କରିଦେବି sir. ଏବେ blue ଅଛି. हाँ bold କରିଦେବି sir ହେଇଯିବ.
କଲର ପ୍ରିଣ୍ଟ ନବା ପାଇଁ କରୁନୁ.
ଆଜ୍ଞା.
ସେମିତି ହିଁ କରିବ.
हाँ sir.
ଆଉ କିଏ ଅଛି ଜଲ୍ଦି ଦିଅ.
Sir stop କରୁଛି presenting.
Yes beta yes.
Thank you sir.
Sir may I?
हाँ yes असीमा.
Yes sir. So we will go for the next experiment. Okay, that is linear convolution. Okay, perform linear convolution between two sequences. Excuse me. Okay. So before going to our experiment, okay, before going to linear convolution, okay, just some signal analysis we will go through, okay. So first of all, continuous time signal and discrete time signal, you know the difference between continuous time signal and discrete time signal, yes or no? Yes or no? Tanmay?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference between continuous time signal and discrete time signal?
Continuous is for each and every value from a given set, and discrete, ma'am, for specific values in between that range.
Okay, if a signal is being generated or having some value at a discrete instance or at a particular time, then it will be a discrete time signal, but continuous it has values for each and every point in the time axis, right? But in case of discrete time signal,
Yes, ma'am.
particular range discrete values will be there, right? So in for the discrete time signal, continuous તમે જાણી છો sine wave, square wave, all those type of signal you know, continuous time signal different type of you know that. But according to the discrete time signals, how the classifications are there, we will discuss it. First, it can be energy and power signal. Okay. Okay. So it can be an energy or power signal. Okay. For a discrete time signal, x of n, the energy can be defined as E equals to summation of mod of x of n whole square, and the limit is from n equals to minus infinity to infinity. Okay, and this can define the energy of x of n, but a signal is an energy signal if and only if the total energy of the signal is finite. Okay, there is a condition, that is a signal is an energy signal if and only if the total energy of the signal is finite. Okay, and the power of an energy signal is always zero. Remember, the power of this energy signal is always zero. Okay, and the energy signal can be defined as summation of x of n, mod of x of n square, and n varies from minus infinity to infinity. Okay, and if I go for the power signal, the average power of a discrete time signal can be defined as P equals to limit capital N tends to infinity 1 divided by 2n plus 1 into summation of mod of x of n square, where n varies from minus n to n. Okay, this is the representation of your discrete power signal or average power signal. Okay. Now, a signal is said to be power signal if the average power of the signal is finite. Here, the energy, the total energy of the signal should be infinite. Here, the average power of the signal should be finite. And for a power signal, energy is infinity. Okay. For the energy signal, power is 0. For a power signal, energy is infinity. Clear? It already discussed in research, right? Am I audible or not? Uja?
Yes, ma'am.
So now periodic and aperiodic signal. Okay. So what is periodic? You know that the signal which reoccurs after a certain period of time, then that is your periodic signal. It means the signal repeats itself, right? So the signal x of n is said to be periodic with period n if and only if x n plus n is equals to x of n for all values of n. Okay, now this capital N denotes the period. Okay. Okay. In here you can see this is a periodic signal. This is a periodic signal, and this signal is aperiodic. Okay, here you can see this signal is periodic because this signal repeats itself. This amplitude is 3 to 1, right? the signal is repeating itself after 3 samples. Right? The signal is repeating itself for every 3 samples. Right? Here, capital N is equals to 3. Right? The period is 3. Isn't it? So this is periodic. But in this signal, randomly the amplitudes are there, and you can see that is not, means the sequence is not coming. Right? So this is aperiodic. Clear? अरे होना नहीं.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is symmetric and asymmetric signals, right? Symmetric signals are also called as even signal. Asymmetric signals are also called as odd signals, right? So the signal is said to be symmetric when x of minus n is equals to x of n for all values of n, and it is asymmetric when x of minus n is equal to minus of x of n for all values of n, right? So symmetric, asymmetric. Right. In this case, how will you find out whether it is symmetric or not? X of minus n is equals to x of n. We have to see that one. It means, suppose this is x of n. Suppose n is my positive integer value. So x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, 3. All these things comes in the negative axis also. See, this is symmetric. Isn't it? At origin, the value is 3. Whatever the value is at plus 1, same thing at minus 1. Whatever the value is at plus 2, same at minus 2. At plus 3, same at minus 3. Right? So this is a symmetric signal. Right? And in this case, it is asymmetric because x of minus n is equals to minus of x of n. Right? Suppose x of 0, then x of 1, x of 2, like this. X of 0 is 0. Okay. Now x of 1 is, value is 3. So minus of x of 1, it means it will be minus 3. At x of minus 1, the value is, here it is 3. So here it is minus 3. Right. Now it is minus 2 and minus 1. Right. So this is asymmetric. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Next is how you get if the discrete signal have whatever less than 0, it does have an value will be 0, then that is called as opposite. And less than 0, the big movement is starting from the 0 from the origin. Okay, you can see here this is starting from the origin, so this is positive and it is minus 1 and minus 2, it is some this is non-causal. Causal and non-causal, how you can see this simple one is that case here, that indicates object. This indicates the object. If the sequence doesn't have any map, it means it is starting from the region. Map is simply xij sub n equals to 1, 2, 3. It means it is starting from the origin. Okay. It means how to represent x of n? X of n at origin, the value is 1. At 1, the value is 2. At 3, the value is 3. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Here, the mark is at 3. It means this one is your origin. Here, minus. Clear or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So now we will see some operations on signal ଯେତିକି ଦରକାର simply ମୁଁ ସେତିକି କହିବି suppose mathematically I am representing y of n equals to t of x of n. Okay, so now we will go for some basic operations. Okay, first one is shifting. Okay, so what do you mean by shifting? Shifting रे कौन हुए?
मैम लेफ्ट को जीवा ग्राफ नहीं तो राइट को जीवा फिक्स वैल्यू
Right. Shifting means the signal may delay or advance. Okay. The shifting may delay or advance the sequence in time. Okay. In time. So you are basically making the sequence either delay or you are advancing the sequence in time, right? So that is your shifting method. Okay. So the shifting operation takes the input sequence and shifts the value by an integer increment of the independent variable. Okay. And mathematically it can be represented as y of n is equals to x of n minus k. Okay. And this k will define whether you will delay the sequence or you will advance the sequence. Okay. So it will shift, it depends upon this value of k. Okay. If the k is positive, then if k is positive, the shifting delays the sequence. The shifting delays the sequence. Okay. It means it will be a right shift. Okay. If k is negative, then the shifting advances the sequence and it will be a left shift. Okay. So how will you find? See, here suppose this one is my x of n. Now, if I find x of n minus k format, right? Suppose I am taking n minus 3. N minus 3 means k is positive. K positive means the shifting will delay the sequence and it will be a right shift, right? So how will you delay? By shifting it in the right direction, right? So k is positive and its value is 3. So you will shift it towards the right by 3 position, right? So whatever the value is at origin, you can see origin it is 4, right? So I'm just shifting the signal to 3, right? N is equals to 0. Okay, 0 minus 3. So I'm shifting it in this direction, right? So same thing in the opposite direction, it will make a advance, right? N minus k. Now the k, if the k is negative means n plus 3. N plus 3 you can denote is n minus of minus 3. It means k is negative, right? So you will shift it in the leftward direction by k position. Clear? Okay. How many positions you have to jump? That will be the k value, right? K units. Yes or no?
yes ma'am
Yes, ma'am.
Now if I go for folding means folding of the sequence means the sequence, you have to fold the sequence about n equals to 0. About n equals to 0. I guess this तुमको ना cover हो जाए theory तो मैंने किसी को कहूँ कौन पाए तो चल हाँ विधि Asima, why you guys are not answering? Asima Padi?
Ma'am.
कौन पे आंसर कौन पे करूँ ना क्लासेस ओरिजिनल
Yes, ma'am.
तो आंसर कौन पे करूँ ना कहले folding of a signal means you have to fold it by origin. N equals to origin. Origin ru tame jodi fold kar dabo, whatever you are getting in the positive, if you have to make it in the negative side, and negative will be in the positive side. Just that is your folding of the signal, right? So x of n is like this, right? This is the origin. Okay. Now if I find x of minus n, so at 1 it is 2. So I'm just keeping minus n. I have to make it minus n. Okay, minus of 1. At minus of 1, I have to put the same value. Now at x of 2, I'm having 0. Right? So at minus 2, I will have 0. Okay. Similarly, in the negative side, you can see at x of minus 1, I am having amplitude 2. So at x of minus 1 means plus 1. I'm having amplitude 2. Now at x of minus 2. At x of minus 2, I'm having amplitude 1, right? So minus of minus 2 means at x of plus 2, I'm having amplitude 1. Now at x of minus 3, I'm having amplitude 4. That will be folded at x of plus 3. You will have amplitude 4. Clear? All of you clear? You have to fold it by the origin. By this line, you have to fold it. Okay. This thing will be in this direction, this comes to this direction. Now, time reversal. Same thing, whatever you are doing in the shifting, that thing we will do, but it will operate for this folded signal, x of minus n. First you have to calculate x of n, then you will go for x of minus n, then shifting x of minus n minus 2 or minus n plus 2. Right? So minus n minus 2 means it will advance by 2 units. Advances the signal by 2 units. Minus n plus 2 means it will delay by 2 units. It will get delayed by 2 units. X of minus n will get delayed by 2 units. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes.
Right. So x of minus n minus 2. Right. I have to make it advance. So whatever value I am getting at x of minus n, just I am making advance means in which direction you will move. Left side,
Left.
right? So whatever I am getting at is 0. This signal is starting from minus 1. So it will get advanced by 2 units. Minus 1 re vache start hoche means 2 units. Unit 1, minus 2, then minus 3. So the entire set will start at minus 3. Now minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. Okay. Similarly, minus and plus 2. Delay. So shift right. Right ko shift karba by 2 units. By 2 units. So it is starting at minus 1. Okay. So by 2 units it will get delayed. Minus 1, 0. So it will start at 1, 2, 3. You can see the signal is starting at 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Or directly you can derive by this x of put 0 and then 1, then 2 like this, then minus 1, minus 2 like this. Add 2, then you will find your position. X 0 plus 2, it will be x of 2. Right? Then x 1 plus 2, it will be at x of 3. Now at x of 2 plus 2, it will be at x of 4 like this. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So now we are going for linear convolution, right? So these properties we will use here, okay? So for linear convolution, okay, for a linear time invariant system, if the input sequence is given as x of n and the impulse response is given as h of n, then you will find your output y of n equals to summation of x of k into h of n minus k, where k varies from minus infinity to infinity, and that is your convoluted signal. The convolution of signal can be derived by this mathematical equation, and it can also be represented as y of n is equals to x of n, this symbol, the star symbol h of n. Okay, this symbol denotes the convolution. Okay, denotes the convolution operation. Okay, so x of n convolution h of n, and mathematically you can write it y of n equals to summation x of k whole into h of n minus k, where k varies from minus infinity to infinity. Clear? Clear or not? So ଏଠି ତମେ କ'ଣ ଦେଖୁଛ? ଦେଖ ତମର input is in the index of n, x of n format ରେ ଅଛି and h of n format ରେ ଅଛି, right? x of n and h of n, right? But तमरा output signal you are finding it in the index as in index n, right? But you need for the whatever the output is, to calculate your output you need x of k and h of n minus k, isn't it? X of k and h of n minus k. So n minus k तमे डायरेक्ट जानि छ टाइम शिफ्टिंग रे तमे जेबो, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you have to convert x of n to x of k, right? In terms of index k you have to represent your sequence, right? And h of n you have to also convert it, right? Then you can go for the shifting n minus k, right? So we will see what are the steps involved, right? So first of all, to find the convoluted signal, what you have to do is first you have to choose the initial value of n. Initial value of n means it is the initial value of your sequence y of n, right? Your inputs are x of n and h of n, and your output is y of n. Yes or no? Am I clear or not? निजे करिबो तमे, हम खाली क्वेश्चन देबी तमको, तो भलसे देखो, ठीक अछि? Input is x of n, h of n, output is y of n, right? So x of n is given to you, h of n is given to you, so you can see the starting point of x of n and h of n. Yes or no? Starting point means whether it is starting from 0 or from minus 1 or from plus 1 or plus 3, whatever it is the sequence is starting, you can take that starting point or initial point of x of n, suppose it is n1, and starting point of h of n, suppose it is n2, then the starting point of y of n will be n1 plus n2. n1 plus n2. The initial point of y of n is n. The initial point of y of n, or the output sequence, is n, and the starting point of x of n is n1, and the starting point of h of n is n2. Then n will be n1 plus n2. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Suppose this is the example. Okay. Right. So x of n, what is the starting point of x of n? n1, starting point of x of n. Could start hoji x of n ta?
3.
That is the value position
0
0 because mark kichi heini, it means it is starting from 0. Okay, if this is not given. Okay, now what is n2? Starting point of h of n. It means this is the origin, right?
-1.
Minus 1. Right? It means this is the time axis value. Okay, these are your amplitude. Okay, if you represent x of n, how will you represent this signal? How will you represent your x of n? Right? So you have to suppose this is my time axis and this is the origin. Now 1, 2, 3. At that time your amplitude is at origin, the amplitude is 3. At origin the value is 3. Right? At 1 the value is 2. At position 2 the value is 1. And at position number 3 again the value is 2. Clear? Similarly, you can represent your h of n. Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Now, what should be the initial point of y of n? Or where should the y of n start? That is n equals to n1 plus n2. Right? So 0 plus minus 1. Minus 1. Right? So the initial point for y of n is minus 1. Clear? The starting time for your output sequence is minus 1. Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Step number 1 complete. Now you can go for step number 2. Step number 2 is to express both the sequence in terms of index k. In terms of index k. You can represent in terms of index k. So how will you represent in terms of index k? So I can just take this will be my x of k and this is k. Yes or no? Similarly, you can go for your h of k. You can go for h of k. Right? So simply just represent x of n and h of n in terms of index k. In terms of index k. Okay. So what are the values? कौन values अच्छे को x of n कौन है एकला sequence 3 2 1 2 and h of n is 1 2 1 2. Okay. So again repeat what was the value for x of n?
3 2 1 2.
3 2 1, 2. Suppose this is 3. This is 2, 1, and again this is 2. Okay. So 3, 2, 1, and 2. Right, 3, 2, 1, 2. And it is starting from the origin 0, 1, 2, 3. Now h of k is starting at or simply you can okay, h of k is starting at h of n is starting at -1, right? And the values are 1, 2, 1, 2, right? So at -1 it is starting at -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Okay, and the values are, what are the values? अरे values कौन थे लगभग
1 2 1 2
1, 2, 1, and 2. So 1, 2, 1, and 2. Clear? In terms of x of k and h of k, right? The step number 3 is, now your step number 3 is fold h of k, then shift to right if n is positive and left if n is negative to obtain h of n minus k. H of n minus k means here whatever the shifting occurs, that depends not on the k, that depends on the n value. That depends on the n value. Are you clear? Clear or not? अरे बुझी पारला ना नहीं? Okay, fold h of k. First of all, you have to fold h of k. Fold of h of k means you have to find h of what? Folding sequence of h of k means what? Folding sequence of h of means what? How will you represent folding sequence of h of n?
minus
H of minus n.
H of minus n. Can you tell me what is the h of minus n value? कहलो h of minus n कौन होगा?
टूटा -2 रे पड़ेगा
2 टा
जो जोड़ा x equals to 2 रे अछि सेडा -x equals to -2 रे पड़ेगा
You have to fold this by the origin by 0, right? By k equals to 0. Right, so what will be the sequence? You have 1, 2, 1,
2 1 2 1
2, right? H of n. So what will be the sequence?
2 1 2 1
Right. It will be 2, 1, 2, 1. Right. And where should be the origin? What would be origin term?
I'm 2 रे
This two or this two?
2 at which is at the third position.
Okay. Okay. Now you can represent this again. Okay. You can represent this sequence as well. Right. So at origin the value is 2. Right. Then at -1 it is 1. Then again it is 2. And here it is 1. So I can write it as 2, 1, 2, 1. All of you clear or there a doubt, Roj? All of you are getting it or having any doubt? Swaraj? Swaraj? Absent? Swaraj absent. Priyadeep?
Yes, ma'am.
বুঝিপারছো না ডাউট আছে?
Yes, ma'am. বুঝা পড়ছে।
Okay. স্বস্তিক মিশ্র? স্বস্তিক মিশ্র? অসীমা?
Yes, ma'am.
বুঝিপারছো? আচ্ছা এবার কইলো কোন how will you shift this h of k? You have to perform time reversal, right? So how will you shift? You have to shift it towards the right if n is positive, and you have to shift it towards left hand side if n is negative, right? To obtain h of n minus k, right? So how will you get it? What is the value of n? We have obtained. What is the value of n? Step number 1. Step number 1, we have obtained it as n equals to -1, right? So n is negative, then we have to shift it towards left hand side, right? We have to shift it towards left hand side. So how will you shift it? N equals to -1. It means you have to find h of -1 minus k. You have to find it as h of -1 minus k. So what will be the value of h of -1 and -1 minus k? केमते find out करियो? Open motor एक पिक्चर देखो तो open motor set point
Shift कर दो।
हाँ को पटे शिफ्ट करियो केमते शिफ्ट करबो को हाँ लेफ्ट से केमते शिफ्ट करबो को
by n
हाँ by what? n equals to -1. You have to find out h of -1 minus k. So how will you find out this one?
एडा जांचे left shift above.
Then what will be the sequence? You have h of -n, or I can say rather it is h of, I mean index change कर दीजिए, right? So we have changed the index h of minus k, right? So this is h of minus k. Okay, right. So you have to find out h of minus 1 minus k. So what will be the value? What will be the sequence? 2 1 2 1 ଅଛି sequence କେମିତି change କରିବ? Left shift କରିବ by unit 1. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Left shift କରିବ by unit 1. The sequence will shift towards left hand side by unit 1. The origin टा कोठी अछि? 2 रे अछि, right? So कोठी की shift हबो?
1 2.
Right. बुझि पारलो? पूरा सेट ऑफ सीक्वेंस टा को तमे बे लेफ्ट हैंड साइड को शिफ्ट करछो. सो सीक्वेंस टा केमते चेंज होबो? सेम थिंग रहला. ठीक अछि. At origin you are having 2. This is the origin, minus 1 minus 2, and this is plus 1. Now you are going to shift towards the left hand side by 1 unit. So गोटे यूनिट एपट को शिफ्ट करिवो -2 रे अछि तो सेटा कोठी के आसी जिवो -3 को आसीबो, राइट. -1 अछि that will be shift towards the left by 1 unit. -1 टा -2 को आसीबो, राइट. 0 रे अछि that will be at -1. 0 रे जा वैल्यू अछि that will be at -1. now 1 रे जोटा वैल्यू अछि सेटा 0 को आसीबो. क्लियर or not? -2 टा -3 को जिवो, -1 रे जहा वैल्यू अछि -2 को जिवो, 0 रे जोटा वैल्यू अछि -1 को जिवो, 1 रे जोटा वैल्यू अछि सेटा 0 को जिवो. ठीक अछि? अरे ठीक अछि ना नहीं को तो no one is answering. Are you getting or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? So at origin you are having value 1, right? So we will go for the next step. This one is completed, right? Experiment number step number 2, step number 3 completed. Now go for step number 4. Multiply x of n and h of n minus k. Multiply x of n and h of n minus k. That thing you can do. You can multiply. Yes or no? Because our sequence is, our y of n is x, a summation of x of k into h of n minus k, where k varies from -infinity to infinity, right? That's why we have to multiply x of n with h of n minus k. So do it. Now what you have to do is, you have to find x of k into h of -1 minus k, right? So what is your x of k? x of k कौन अछि? x of k ର values कौन अछि? 3 2 1 2, right? 3 2 1 2, and your h of -1 minus k is this sequence 2 1 2 1, and the origin it's at the end, right? So you have to multiply by the position, right? So 3 2 1 2, right? The origin is here, right? So how will you find out? This will be y of, if I am writing this as y of n, y of n equals to h of k into h of n minus k. N is our 1, so I am writing it as y of 1. So what will be the value? What will be the value of y of 1?
3.
3 केमती फाइंड आउट कलो so for each position you have to check at origin what is the value so this sequence is starting at origin okay 0 1 2 3 and here the sequence is starting from -3 -2 -1 and it is 0 so if I suppose mo direct time axis karuchi suppose I am drawing the time axis okay at time axis -3 ରୁ start hoche amara -3 -2 -1 0 1 2 3 so at -3 what is the value I am having I am having h of -1 minus k I am having value 2 and here no value is there it means 2 into 0 I can say 2 multiplied 0 now at -2 I am having 1 here in this x of n there is no value so I can say 1 into 0 now at -1 x of n doesn't have any value only we are having 2 right so 0 into 2 now at origin x of k is having value 3 and h of -1 minus k is having value 1 so 3 into 1 it is 3 now at 1 at plus 1 where x of k is having value 2 here doesn't have any value so 2 into 0 now at 2 x of k is having value 1 h of -1 minus k doesn't have any value so 1 into 0 at plus 3 it is having 2 and here it is having 0 multiplied with 0 now what is the sequence are you getting my point or not jaha mu koruchi bujhi parucho kichi na bujhi parno bujhi parcho na bujhi parno samase are to mane bujhi parcho na bujhi paru
Yes, yes.
okay so y of 1 should be the summation value it means this should all the values should get added yes or no all the values should be added because your y of n is equals to summation of x of k into h of n minus k where k varies from minus infinity to infinity so you have to take the summation means 2 into 0 it is 0 plus 1 into 0 it is 0 plus 0 2 into 0 again 0 plus 3 into this is 3 and here it is 1 3 into 1 it is 3 plus 2 into 0 0 plus 1 into 0 0 plus 2 into 0 0 so the value is only 3 all of you clear
Yes, ma'am.
बुझियलो समस्या सुपन्ना
Yes, ma'am.
बुझियलो
हाँ मैम
हाँ मैम समस्या जदि बुझी जाउछ त माने मु सेतबेले किछि चेंजेस करूनी एंड यू आर नॉट इवन टेलिंग मी मु बस चेक करथि त माने कोन देखुछ this is should be the value of what y of
0.
0.
now you can find the rest because the next step is you have to increase the index n and shift h of n minus k to right by one sample and repeat step 4 right so tame kon karibo y of 1 y of 2 y of 3 like that you can find out right then you have to repeat step number 5 until the sum of product is 0 for all remaining values of n okay तो एंड जाए तुम्हें फाइंड आउट करी करी जिवो सो कंटिन्यू करो निजे कंटिन्यू करो y of 0 you you are having y of 0. Now continue to find out the rest values. Okay. Now you can find out y of 1. That would be summation of x of k whole into h of n minus k, or minus k and n is 1, right? Where k varies from minus infinity to infinity. Now you can find out what is your x of k. 3 to 1
3 to 1 2.
and h of minus k, you know, right? X of minus k is 2 1 2 1, and it is starting from minus 2, right? So you can go for this one. Whatever was index shift करियो okay. केमती करिवो तमरो h of k रो h of minus k रो वैल्यू कोन अछि 2 1 2 1, and origin is here, right? Now shift it. N is positive. N is positive. So you have to shift it in which direction? Right side, right? You have to shift it towards the right hand side. Towards the right hand side, you have to shift it by 1 unit. Shift towards right hand side by 1 unit. So origin will be h of minus k plus 1. कौन आसीबो minus k plus 1 sequence टा कौन आसीबो
The right hand shift है
हाँ तो कोठी रखिबे origin टा कोठी रखिबे
1 रे
कोठी रखिबे
1 रे
ma'am.
80
left रे दोस्त
Left ma'am.
right. And your x of k is 3 to 1 2, right? Your x of k is 3 to 1 2. Three, two, 1, 2, and this is the origin. So I can write it as 3 2 1 2, and here it is 0, right? Because it is starting from 3. Now you have to multiply these two things, these two sequence. Right? So 2 into 0. Yes or no? 2 into 0.
Ma'am 8.
Then plus 1 into 3. Then 2 into 2. Now you are getting? Yes or no? You are getting or not? This is 2 into 0. 2 into 0 plus 1 into 3 plus 2 multiplied with 2.
As it.
Now this is 1 multiplied with 1, then again 0. Here, mute yourself. Mute yourself. Now there is nothing means it is 0. 0 multiplied with 2. So what you are getting? 2 into 0, it is 0, plus 1 into 3, plus 2 into 2, 4, plus 1 multiplied with 1, 1, plus 0 multiplied with 2, it is 0. So what is the value we are getting? 3 plus 4 plus 1, 8. Clear? Clear or not? अरे जो मैंने बुझी पारुना पचारो. Next you can find out. Okay. Next you have to find out. Tanmay. Tanmay.
Yes, ma'am.
Find out.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the value of y of 2? Chinmay Bhanja.
Yes, ma'am.
You have to find the value y of 3. Priyadeep.
Yes, ma'am.
Next value. First Tanmay, then Chinmay, then you have to find out y of 4. Okay. Tanmay, so what is the value of y of 2? What is the value of y of 2?
Please wait, ma'am.
Complete है ना? अरे कितना टाइम लागुची find out करिया को? तो quickly हवा कथा. You have to find out y of 2. जेमती तुम्हें y of 1 find out करचो, same procedure रे y of 2 find out कर. So h of k minus k you are having. So you have to find out h of minus k plus 2. Yes or no?
Ma'am, y of 4 तो stop है जी बस एटा.
Y of कितने stop होगा?
4.
Y of 4 stop होगा? Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
क्या इतना पौरे सब तक value 0 आस जाऊँगी? Y of 5 रे सब तक element 0 आस जाऊँगी?
5 टा मैम चेक करनी मैम कॉल देखी कुछ.
हाँ सेट के. If you remember. So the last step is repeat step number 5 until your sum of product is 0 for all the remaining values of n. तो तमरा product टा पूरा 0 आसुथिबा दरकार. Sum of product तुमे जो summation काढुछ सेरा 0 आसी न जाय तुमे कंप्लीट करबो. तो तमरा sum of product 0 आछी कि y of 5 चेक करो. ठीक अच्छे
yes ma'am देखिए coach
y of 2 ର value କେତେ ଆସିଛି
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ 12 ଆସୁଛି।
y of 2 ର value 12 ଆସୁଛି
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
okay correct then y of 3 y of 2 you are getting is 12 right then okay y of 0 y of 0 କେତେ ଆସିଥିଲା 8 y of 1
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ y of 0 3 ଆସିଥିଲା।
3
y
ଆସିଥିଲା।
of 8 ଆସିଥିଲା।
okay then y of 1 was 8 right
Yes ma'am.
then y of 2 is 12 now y of 3 is y of 3 କେତେ ଆସିଛି ଜଲ୍ଦି କର
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ 9
9 y of 4 what is the value of y of 4
4
4
4 okay then y of 5
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ 4
y of 5 also 4 y of 6
0
y of 6 0 ଆସିଯାଉଛି
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
right so y of if you are get you have to repeat your steps unless and until you are getting your sum of product is 0 at y of 6 you will find out that your h of 6 minus k will be 0 0 0 0 2 1 2 1 isn't it here it is the origin right so that's why you will get the sum of product is 0 so you will get y0 y1 y2 y3 y4 and y5 so what will be your y of n your y of n the sequence will be 3 8 12 9 4 and 4 correct Correct or not? And your origin will be where? Where will be your origin? Origin টা কোথায় রইব?
ম্যাম 3 রে রইব।
Origin 3 রে রইব।
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম, বিকজ এটা y of 0।
Okay. There is another method. Okay. There is another method to find out your linear convolution. Okay. I'm just showing it. Suppose x of n equals to 1, 2, 3, 1 and h of n equals to 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay. So first of all, first step you will find out the initial value of y of n. Same thing, n1 plus n2. Right. N equals to n1 plus n2 and n will be n1 is initial value of x of n, that is minus 1, and here you are getting n2 is initial value is 0. Nothing is there means it is starting from 0. So the initial value of y of n will be minus 1, means the sequence will start at minus 1, right? So in the previous case also जो तुमको अभी पचारिली तुम जो कहला y of n will start at 3, एटी 3 रे स्टार्ट होबनी। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तुमको फाइंड आउट करैला अछि तुम्हारा वैल्यू केते, ओरिजिन रे तुम्हारा वैल्यू 3 की -1 रे तुम्हारा वैल्यू केते तुम सेटा फाइंड आउट करबो। मीन स्टार्टिंग वैल्यू ऑफ y of n सीक्वेंस किंतु स्टार्ट होबो -1। ओके, सो what same method you will go, but there is another method. This one is matrix method हला। तुम ए सेम क्वेश्चन टा प्रीवियस मेथड रे भी सॉल्व करिवो, ठीक अछि? तो मु एटा रे निजे करू जे टेबल रे तुम एटा देखि दियो। तुम ए सेम क्वेश्चन टा को प्रीवियस मेथड रे सॉल्व करिवो एंड जोटा प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन थिला सेटा को तुम ए फॉर्मेट रे भी सॉल्व कर परिवो, चेक कर परिवो, ठीक अछि? तो एथरा होछि 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1। एटा सबसे इजीएस्ट मेथड, ठीक अछि? मैट्रिक्स मेथड रे व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज, here in the row wise you have to take the value of h of n and in this column you have to take x of n. Okay, in the column you will take this row values will be your x of n and here it is your h of n. Column is your h of n, ठीक अछि? This is h of 0, h of 1, h of 2 and this is h of 3, and in the row you are taking x of n value. In the row you are taking x of n. x of n is starting from -1, so x of -1, x of 0, x of 1 and this is x of 2. Correct? ठीक अच्छे? अरे ठीक अच्छे ना नहीं? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So h of 0 is 2, h of 1 is 1, h of 2 is 2, h of 3 is 1. And here x of n move us nature 1 2 3 1, 1 2 3 1. Right? 1 2 3 1. Now what you have to do is you have to multiply this row and column value. This row value and column value and put it here. Okay, तो मैं row को column से तो multiply करके value रखूँ, ठीक है? So here it is 1 and 2. 1 multiplied with 2, the value is 2. Now 1 into 2, the value is 2. Now 1 into 1, the value is 1. 1 into 1, the value is 1. Now 1 into 2, the value is 2. Similarly 1 into 1, the value is 1. सब तक समझे fill up करिवो, ठीक अछि? सब तक similarly fill करो। 2 into 2, the value is 4. Now 2 into 1, the value is 2. Now 2 into 2, the value is 4. Then 2 into 1, the value is 2. Are you getting my point or not? ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ? ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ? କେମିତି ହଉଛି? Row into column. Then third row into first column. 3 into 2. The value is 6. Now 3 into 1. Third row, second column. 3 into 1. The value is 3. Now 3 into 2. The value is 6. Now 3 into 1. The value is 3. Clear? Am I audible or not? You are getting it or not? How will I know? No one is
Yes,
answering.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, next is the fourth row. So 1 into 2, the value is 2. 1 into 1, the value is 1. Now 1 into 2, the value is 2. And 1 into 1, the value is 1. Okay. Now what you have to do is, how will you find out y of n? Multiplication he gala, product values find out kardalo. How will you find out the y of n sequence? Now you can go like this. So diagonally you have to add. First is this much is your output domain, right? This much is your output domain. Now first diagonally element is 2, so I am just keeping 2. Next diagonal elements are 4, 1. 4 plus 1. Add the diagonal elements. 4 plus 1. It is 5. Now, third is 6 plus 2 plus 2. 6 plus 2 plus 2. 10. Right? Are you getting or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, fourth one is 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1. 2 plus 3, 5 plus 4, 9 plus 1, 10. Correct? Next, 1 plus 6 plus 2. 1 plus 6, 7 plus 2, 9. Next is 2 plus 3, 5. Last one is 1. Solve. Okay. Now after writing this sequence, what you have to do is, the initial value is -1. So the sequence will start at -1. It means the second value is the origin value. So you will put the origin at the second position. Okay. Now this is your sequence. In the previous, what was our question? X of n was 3, 2, 1, 2. 3, 2, 1, 2 and h of n is 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Suppose I am doing the same thing. X of n was 3, 2, 1, 2. Right. And h of n was 1, 2, 1, 2. अच्छा इधर origin code थिला
-1
h of n टा 18. Right. ठीक अछि तो ठीक अछि ना नहीं?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So what I will do is, I will just write my h of n values in the column and x of n values in the row side, right? So how will I write? X of n will be 3, 2, 1, 2. Just I am writing 3, 2, 1, 2. And h of n, it is 1, 2, 1, 2. Right? So now what I have to do is, so I have to multiply the rows and the columns, right? So 3 into 1, 3 into 1, the value is 3. Now 3 into 2, the value is 6. 3 into 1, the value is 3. 3 into 2, the value is 6. Similarly, 2 into 1, the value is 2. 2 into 2, the value is 4. 2 into 1, the value is 1. 2 into 2, the value is 4. 1 into 1, 1, 2, 1.
ସେଟା 1 ନା 2 ହବ 2 into 1 2
Sorry.
2 4 2
Okay. Thank you. Now this is 2 into 1, 2. 2 into 2, 4. 2 into 1, 2, and again 4. Right? So now I will take the diagonal values. So for diagonal, I will take here, it is 3. First one is 3. Then the next element will be 2 plus 6. 2 plus 6, that is 8. Then the third one will be 1 plus 4 plus 3. That is again 8. Then the fourth one is 2 plus 2 plus 2. 6 plus 6, that is 12. Now next one is 4 plus 1 plus 4. That is 9. Then 2 plus 2, 4. Then the last one is 4. Right, and the initial point is -1. So this will be the origin. Are you getting the same sequence or not? Are you getting the same sequence or not?
Yes, ma'am. Same sequence.
Okay. Okay, I hope there is a mistake. Okay, in the previous calculation there must be some mistake. Okay, here it is. I guess this value should be 8 and your y of -1 should be 3.
yes ma'am
Right, so here I guess one point I have skipped. This will be 3, 8, 8, 12, 9, 4, 4. Same sequence. Right? This should be y of -1. Now what you have to do is the previous jota question this one 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 eta tame nije authre jemti previous ta karithila semti karibo ever you can take by your own tame nije ichhara gote sequence nabo x of n and y h of n समस्त कर x of n h of n अलगा हेतबा कथा ठीक अछि समस्त कर x of n h of n अलगा हेतबो then you can calculate okay your y of n theoretically then write the program लिखि परिबो समस्त प्रोग्राम yes or no प्रोग्राम समस्त लिखि परिबो ना नहीं सुपर्णा
मैम करिवो मैम
करिबो प्रोग्राम
हां मैम
चेष्टा काहे करिबो स्वराज तमे कोठी थिलो क्वेश्चन पचरा हमरा किछ को नथलो
मैम कर्मेला मैडम टे कॉल कर देथिले से टाइम रे कटि जेथिली सॉरी मैम
ठीक है you can write the program okay so just first कौन लिखिबो first तमे input sequence by command लिखो okay x is equals to whatever your sequence is right so then what you have to write is you have to put the lower limit of your x of n or starting point of x of n similarly starting point of h of n yes or no or you can write down the lower and upper limit of x of n and h of n right then what you have to do is you have to write n equals to n1 plus n2 yes or no n equals to n1 plus n2 directly likhi paribo right now what you have to do is you have to write down what should be the length of your y of n right acha another thing ତମମାନଙ୍କର ତ କାହାର ଡାଉଟ ଆସିଲାନି ନିଜେ ହିଁ କହି ଦଉଛି ଆସିବନି ତମମାନଙ୍କ ତମ ଡାଉଟ ନା ନାଇଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଆମର କିଛି ଡାଉଟ ଆସିବନି ଆଚ୍ଛା ଯୋଉଟା ତମମାନଙ୍କୁ କହିଲି ମୁଁ ଏବେ ଦେଖ ଦିଟା ଯାକ ମେଥଡରେ ସଲ୍ଭ କରାହେଲା ଗୋଟେ ତମେ ନର୍ମାଲ ସମ ଅଫ ପ୍ରଡକ୍ଟ କାଢିକି ସିକ୍ୱେନ୍ସ ଲେଖୁଛ ୟା ଫିର ତ ତମେ ମ୍ୟାଟ୍ରିକ୍ସ ମେଥଡରେ କରୁଛ ତମେ ତ କେହି ପଚାରିଲାନି ଏଇଠି ସିନା 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 ନେଇଛ ବୋଲି ଏମିତି କରିଛ ଯଦି ମୁଁ ସିକ୍ୱେନ୍ସଟା କରିଥାନ୍ତି 1 2 3 1 4 ଓକେ ଆଉ ଏଇଟା ଖାଲି 2 1 2 1 ଥାନ୍ତା ତ କେମିତି କରିବ
मैम जीरो नहीं चाहिए एक्स्ट्रा जगह
zero number so you how will you make that one zero padding technique use करिवो zero padding means तुमको कुआ है zero matrix केमती करा जाए zeros and ones कुआ है ना नहीं I guess the previous slide zeros n comma ones n comma n कुआ है ना नहीं how to produce zero matrix right से same command use करिवो କରିକି zero padding करिवो ठीक अछि जोठी नाही सेठी zero add କରିकी then you will make both the length equal what you have to do is you have to make both the lengths equal x of n और h of n रो length equal करिवो then you can go for your calculation clear clear or not
Yes, ma'am.
okay
yes ma'am
so I hope तुमने आज जहाँ पहुँची बुझी जो कि न बुझी I don't know but के किसी आंसर करी ना it means मैं बुझी बुझी जाई जा ठीक है so घर को मैंने after this lab नीचे टिकट देखो और थोड़ा भल से ठीक है x of n अलगा वैल्यू नहीं कि h of n अलगा वैल्यूज नहीं कि नीचे चेक करो whether you are getting the same values or not then go for the command okay or go for the program okay जनरल जहाँ जानी चाहिए जाए जो बेसिक कमांड सेटा यूज करके ही प्रोग्राम लिखो ओके okay let me take the attendance then you can leave